again.
Hello, hello.
We're back. It's Jennifer from Jill's team, and I'm here again with.
Aaron from Jill's team.
Thanks for joining us again. If you happen to catch the first episode of our new podcast, we're a little later, I think, than we said we would be back, but at least we're here.
We are here. We are definitely
All right. So we are going to talk again this episode. We're going to take a look at West Rouge and the sales activity in our neighborhood specifically for the month of November. We are at December 14th today. So we're able to see everything that happened in November. We are going to take a look at kind of what's happened in the market as a whole. Talk a little bit about some new real estate regulations that have just come into place as of December 1st. And then we're going to get into some maybe more exciting things to do with the community. Take a look at events coming up, where you can shop locally for the holidays. And talk a little bit about our community events that have happened, our tree lighting, and Erin's trek that she has come back from a couple of weeks ago. And I think that's it.
I think that's it.
So starting with our what's happened in West Rouge in November. So in November, we had 13 sales, so 13 homes sold. There have actually been 5 more homes that have sold since the end of November, in the first 2 weeks of December as well, but 13 home sales in November. The average price of those homes was about 1.1 million. Of those, of the 1.1 million, so the lowest sale was 685,000 and the high end was just over 1.6. And the average time those homes took to sell was 33 days on the market.
685 is, haven't seen a sale price of 685.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That was the one that sold for 685. It was a town home down at the end of Lawrence and Port Union Road there, just across from the GO train station. I did get in to see that one. It was in not in move-in shape. It needed a little bit of attention and renovations, but still a really good price point for someone looking to get into the neighborhood. And it was a great location, being right across from the GO train. It could be a really good opportunity for first-time buyer or even an investor. It would probably be a easy location to rent out given its proximity to the transportation there. All right, so we still have, right now, there's still 22 homes available on the market. One of those has sold conditionally. Actually, it's another townhome right next to that other one that sold for 685. It was on the market at 750, and that one is fully renovated. So it'll be interesting to see what that one sells for. And then, so 21 other homes available.
Yeah, so a lot of homes on the market, typical for December. Like it's, obviously it's slower with interest rates and things like that, but generally November and December are kind of, especially December, slower months in real estate. But I feel like things are kind of starting to happen, which is, interesting. Homes are selling, not, in our neighborhood is smaller, but kind of overall I'm seeing things kind of come together, which is cool.
Yes, and our brokerage hosts their own podcast for all the agents that are part of it twice a week. So they keep us updated on the market, and they bring in different experts to kind of keep everyone informed on what the economy is doing. And in the last month, one of the economists that was on was talking about interest rates and what their predictions were for next year. And what they're predicting is that interest rates should start to come down as early as March, but hopefully no later than June. We should start to see a decline in the interest rates. the economist that spoke to our brokerage.
There it is. Sorry.
Oh, and we weren't even moving our hands around.
Yeah.
The economists that spoke to our brokerage expect the interest rate to eventually settle somewhere around the 4% mark, but that won't happen all at once. It'll be kind of a quarter point at a time over a period of time. Could take up to a year, perhaps even a little bit more than that. They definitely don't want to do it too quickly and then see the market increase too quickly. Hopefully we'll just see more of a slow and steady re-engagement by people into the real estate market, because if things start to heat up too quickly, then they may decide to bump the interest rates again. So
Yeah, it's nice to see a little bit of price increase, but nothing crazy, because the minute we start seeing, double digit percentage increases, then everything goes back again. Rates go higher and that sort of thing. So,
yeah, exactly. But it is good news. I mean, it has been a quieter market in the second half of the year. We spoke about it last episode when we were on, about the opportunity that's out there for buyers right now.
Awesome. Lots of great opportunity.
All right. Get our notes here. Make sure we're on track.
Oh yeah, some reasons maybe why homes aren't selling. I mean, there's definitely a lot of factors going on, and we have 22 homes available in our neighborhood right now, which is higher than we're used to seeing. But I think a lot of buyers have kind of taken they're taking a seat on the sidelines, waiting to see exactly what happens. I think there's a little bit of kind of confidence coming back in, and it'll be we'll get a better idea of it next year. But price points too, if people selling their homes have expectations from before, then if it's priced too high, it will sit for longer than normal.
Yeah, definitely, especially in this quieter market where buyers do have more power than they typically would.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And favorite homes this month, meaning November?
Yes, the favorite homes as of November. So favorite home, I was in to see 406 Calderstone Crescent, and it was a bit of a unique home. I think it perhaps didn't do as well as it would have on a different street. It was one that backed onto Port Union Road, and right now, if you live in the neighborhood, there's a lot of construction going on Port Union Road, so I think that might have kind of impacted the sale a little bit, but it was a beautiful home. It had a nice pool in the backyard. It was in fairly original condition, but the lot was a good size, and the house was very, very well cared for, so someone could move in and kind of make their updates slowly over time. So I really did like that one, and it sold for just over 1.2, so overall really good value for a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom home in our neighborhood.
That's really good value. Really, really good value. I don't, from anything that sold, we were talking before this started, I kind of wanted to talk about something that was still on the market now. It's the last home on Colonel Danforth, 155 Colonel Danforth. And it was, I don't think I've seen anything like it in our neighborhood, which is why I kind of wanted to talk about it. It's a smaller footprint, but they've really utilized the property so well. There's not a ton of tableland, but they've managed to do some really unique things that give you some space to move around outside. So it's definitely a cool house to look at. My favorite feature is on the second level. There is a glass floor, or a see-through floor. So, I mean, you don't see that every day.
Right, and we were all speculating as to,
what you would do with that.
What would you do with that glass floor? But you're right, you definitely don't see that every day.
Yeah, so very, very cool house. Very cool house.
Yes. All right. So, shifting from West Rouge specifically and looking at kind of what's happened in the market as a whole outside of just the numbers that were released, our brokerage now is spending quite a bit of time educating everyone on the new regulations that have recently been put in place. And we don't want to go into too much detail about it today until we are fully up to speed. But it's worth mentioning as there are a couple of fairly significant changes that will change the real estate market for both buyers and sellers. I guess I'll speak to the first one, and Aaron, I'll let you speak to the second one. The first one is that right now, when you sign an agreement with someone, or before December 1st, when you're signing that agreement, you're signing it with the brokerage as a whole versus a specific person within that brokerage. So for Aaron and I, when we're working with sellers and binders, that listing agreement or that buyer representation agreement that they're signing with us is signed and binding them to our brokerage Royal LePage signature as a whole. Now, moving forward as of December 1st, and the reason this was done was to protect clients' interests, and it's a good thing. So now, when you sign those agreements, you're going to be signing and specifying who your representative is within that brokerage. So if you were signing a listing agreement, and you're working with Aaron, it's going to say Aaron Gregory with of Royal LePage signature versus just the brokerage as a whole. And this was done in an effort to protect clients from multiple representation scenarios. And obviously, multiple representation scenarios is when a property is being sold and one individual is representing both the buyer and the seller. Previously, multiple representation could have existed even if it was within the same brokerage. So even if Aaron, was representing the seller, someone else from Royal LePage signature was representing the buyer. Previously, that would have been multiple representation as well, even if Aaron didn't have any type of relationship with the other person from our brokerage. Now, with this new designated representative, that will no longer constitute multiple representation. It's a way to protect both the seller and the buyer's best interests.
The updated regulations, especially with designated representation, some of the brokerages or offices they're quite large. Like ours has, I think, 1,500 or 11.
Yeah, I think
there's a
yeah.
lot of it. So a lot of people,
We're well over 1,100, I
this
think.
person's in your office, and you're like, well, I've never met them, but you still have to sign a form saying we're in multiple representation, which really you're not. So it's a really. I'm really glad that that's updated and makes more sense now.
Yeah, exactly. And the other big change, I mean, there's more changes, but the other really big change that will impact a lot of people that I will let Aaron speak to is now sellers are going to have the opportunity to decide to have an open offer process.
Yeah, the open offer process is interesting, and I mean all these regulations came out December 1st. We haven't had an opportunity to do an open offer process yet. There is an agent in our office who has and actually said it was quite successful and people really liking the transparency of the whole thing. And it's always going to be up to the consumer, our clients, of what they want to do. You can share certain parts of the offer only. You can share all the details of the offer. It's really up to your discretion of what you want to do, and you still don't have to share anything about the offer if that's what you don't feel, or maybe it's not in your best interest, or however it's going to go. The other option is they're kind of coming up with clauses that people purchasing a home, a buyer, can put into the offer, saying that this is our offer. But if it does become an open offer process, meaning, certain parts of it can be disclosed to everyone, that they rescind their offer, they take it back. And I mean, this is all very new, and there's a lot of we're all trying to really figure this out. So I mean, as we kind of go through it, I know there's lawyers working on different clauses, I think, for what they can do. So we'll become more transparent, and we'll have a better idea of how it all comes together. But I think there's a lot of opportunities where the open offer process will work great, and yeah, so it's really cool to see these changes come into effect, and I think it'll be good for everyone. And doing really, it's up to the client's decision and what's going to work best for them. So it's nice to have the opportunity.
Right, exactly, which is awesome. All right. So we're going to shift into community events. We had, if anyone who's listening got the opportunity to join us, we had our third annual community holiday tree lighting party on November 28th, was it?
25th.
25th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the end of November, we were there at the Port Union Community Center and had a great turnout.
Oh my God. Yeah. Lots. It was awesome.
Yes, I think, you know what, I think we were reflecting as a team, you know, at how many more people came out this year, which was awesome, but just kind of what we had done differently to let people know about it. And I think we probably just spread the word around a little bit more effectively this year than in previous years. So it was awesome to see how many people were out. Our best guess was that we had, you know, probably close to 600, if not even, maybe even a little bit more in attendance. And, you know, everyone really did have a good time. The weather was nicer this year than in previous 2 years.
No wind. It was so much milder,
Yes.
so that made it. I might have layered up too much, so it was a bit.
I think I also overdressed for the event, and the band was awesome. Everyone enjoyed the pizza and the hot chocolate and popcorn, and the Christmas tree that was lit this year they really did a great job. It was our team hires a company called Beyond Your Reach, and they come and do the tree for us every year. And this year they just did such a good job with.
It really was spectacular.
Yeah, with the lights.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It all came together really, really nicely. I know there were a few wait times for pizza but we didn't anticipate the amount of people. So, you know, better planning, and next year less wait times.
Yes, next year more pizza will be there with the big crowd that came out this year, which is a good problem to have.
Yeah, it is, and it's just the whole thing. It's just kind of magical and nice, and the whole community comes together, and it is. It's a really nice thing to do, and I'm so glad we're able to do it.
Yeah, for sure. And if you didn't get a chance to come, the tree will be lit through the month of December. So drive by the Port Union Community Center, and you can check it out.
And we did raise a lot of money as well for Scarborough Centre Healthy Communities.
Yes, we had, it was awesome. Everyone, we had a lot of very generous people from the community. I think the community raised just over $600, which our team matched. So we were able to donate over $1,200 to the Scarborough Centre for Healthy Communities, which they, were very, very happy to receive, which was awesome. And our team actually also, we had a client event and did a food drive for the Scarborough Centre for Healthy Communities as well. And we're able to donate quite a significant amount of food for them. I couldn't believe actually how much.
Huge truck full of food. So that was awesome.
Yeah, and they were really, really appreciative of that, which is great. And then the other thing that Erin has done is she was back from, was it 2 weeks you were there for?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks in Ecuador on her trek, which was...
1 week was fun, but the second week was a grind.
Yeah, which was to raise money for the Royal LePage Shelter Foundation.
So Royal LePage has their own charity. It's called the Royal LePage Shelter Foundation, which is kind of cool because I believe we're the only company that does it. Having our own charity means there's no admin cost. Royal LePage covers all the administrative fees, so 100% of everything donated goes directly to the cause. So these treks they've done them every other year. You have to apply, and if you're accepted, you have to raise a minimum amount of money to go on this trek. And the 80% of what's raised will go to a local charity, and 20% goes to education and prevention programs. So it's probably one of the biggest fundraisers that they have. This year we raised collectively, so 115 agents, I believe, were split into 4 groups, and we raised over $1.7 million.
Wow.
So, and that's spread out all over Canada. My portion, I raised just over $10,000, and my portion, 80%, will go to Juliet's Place, which is a local shelter in Scarborough, and then 20% to the education and prevention program. So it's an incredible charity, and the experience too is very hard. We're out there. The altitude was very interesting to deal with. We're sleeping in tents. We are not showering. We don't have access to plumbing or toilets or any of that fun stuff. And it's hard. It's really hard on your body. There were a lot of people that didn't sleep. There were a lot of people that actually got quite sick. And the altitude too, really, I mean, you don't know what's going to happen until it happens. So incredible experience. While you're out there, it's really tough. And then as soon as you get back, you're just overwhelmed with what we've been able to do and how much money we've been able to raise. And then you're kind of going, when's the next one? So it's awesome.
It's amazing. And that was your third trek,
that was my
right?
third
That you've participated in?
Yeah, third trek. The first night I put my head down in the tent and I go, why do I do this? And then by the end of it, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. It's just awesome what we can do. And really, 115 people raising that amount of money.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It really is.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
It's definitely not for. I don't know if I would survive the actual trek part of the experience. So good for you.
I have a lot of people that are like, I will never do it. I will give you as much money as you want.
Yes, exactly.
You do the thing, I will give the money, and it all works.
No, it's amazing, and that you've done it 3 times is pretty awesome as well.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be crazy enough to go back for a 4th.
Who knows? I'm always like, no, and then it's, we'll see where it is first. So we'll see.
Awesome. Some exciting events that have been happening in the community this month. We are lucky in West Rouge. We have 2 community associations. West Rouge, we spoke about this last time, but we have, our West Rouge and our Centennial side of the neighborhood. Collectively, we refer to them as West Rouge. There is specifically a West Rouge Community Recreation Association, as well as a Centennial association as well. So both kind of sides of the neighborhood put on events for the community, which is amazing. Mm-hmm. The West Rouge Community Association this past weekend brought in Santa and had a Santa photo with pets, and then kind of
disappointed I missed that. I'll put it on my calendar for next year.
And then they had Santa stick around to do some holiday crafts with families and Santa photos with kids. This past weekend. Still coming up, there will be a carol singing event on the last Friday of school, which is next week, Friday, December 22nd, from 7 to 8:30 p.m. at the West Rouge Community Center, which is as far east as you can go in our neighborhood on Rouge Hills Drive there. So that will be happening the last Friday in December, and then coming up in January, we'll have the Port Union Winterfest. And I feel at least 3 years, 4 years.
Winterfest?
Yeah.
Might even be longer.
Maybe longer.
It's been going for quite some time.
Yeah. And if you haven't been out to Winterfest, it's a lot of fun. It's going to be on Saturday, January 27th. Mm-hmm. It's cold usually, so dress warmly, but they have all kinds of fun activities planned for kids and families. There's a clothing swap that they organized, I think, for the first time last year that will happen, where you can kind of bring anything from your wardrobe that maybe you're no longer wearing, and it gets laid out with everyone else's stuff, and you can fill a bag and go home with, other things that maybe you like a little better.
I do that with friends, but that's so much. There's so much options, so many options.
Yes, yes. So that will be something to look forward to in January, which sometimes is a little bit of a dreary month of the year.
Yeah, I know. My birthday's in January. It's always dreary.
Yes. And then Erin was going to talk a little bit about where you can do some of your holiday shopping locally if you have left it to the last minute, and online shopping maybe isn't an option because of shipping times.
Oh yeah, those good old shipping times. I've worn this sweater. I actually got this last year. I believe I saw them on sale this year from Shop Love Collective.
Yep.
That's Stephanie's done these. I have gotten compliments on this sweater all the time. You can find her stuff online, and there is one of my actual favorite shop in the neighborhood for kind of anything that you need is Cherry Bomb Mercantile. It's in right where Mr. Convenience is. It's right in that plaza there on East Avenue across from the Black Dog. And she does the most beautiful flowers. Any little gift that you need to pick up for anybody. She's got quite a collection of. It goes from candles to like glassware to like it's everything. So it's always a great place to stop by and pick up something, stocking stuffers, all that good stuff. That's there. If you go onto Facebook, our West Rouge Residents Facebook page, I know that there is a post that Linda set up with all the local shops, so that actually helps. A lot of them, wouldn't have storefronts, but there's lots of shopping that you can do online, and if there's no shipping, you can just drive and pick up whatever you need to pick up. So that's a great post, and I think a lot of people that sell things in the neighborhood have gone on that. And the other thing I'm excited to try, I just booked it for myself for next week. Amanda Joe is a hairstylist in our neighborhood, and she's just opened up a brand new shop on right in the same plaza that Cherry Bomb is. It's called Remedy. So I've booked myself a little blowout. I've never been there before, so I'm excited to give that a try next week. Yeah.
That is exciting.
I know. Who wants to do your own hair?
Yes, and gift certificates to any of the local hair salons that friends or family may use are always a great idea for a gift as well.
Yeah, easy to get to and all that stuff. But there's, I feel like there's more and more coming. I just saw a post about a new gelato shop off of Military Trail, so in Highland Creek. I think Mark's Pizzas, he's got panettone and amazing fresh pastas, and there's like 4 sweet cookies. There's so many things. And Jack and Jill's Bake Shop too, like really, really good.
Yeah, we are really lucky.
Yeah.
We have such a good variety of food and little shops and stuff right here in our neighborhood, which it's awesome when you can kind of shop and support those local businesses for sure.
Yeah, if we don't support them, they go away. So if we love them, we gotta spend our money there.
Yes, for sure. All right, that gets to the end of our agenda here. If you stayed with us for this long, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
And we will be back again in January.
Dreary January.
Yes, January at some point, hopefully with a little bit more information on Tressa. And we'll see what else. Talk a little bit about the holidays and anything kind of exciting that happened.
Before we started recording, we were chatting about, we had one of the stagers that we work with has thought maybe it'd be a good idea, which I think it would be a good idea if they were to come on and give us some tips for if we're starting to think about, we want to put our homes on the market in the spring, then you have to start a little bit beforehand. And it's nice to start well in advance. It's not kind of like a 2-week, like really get it together. You've got time to take your time and do things. So they'll probably, I don't know if January, but at some point they'll come on and give us some good tips too, which could be something to look forward to.
Yes, definitely. All right. So thank you for listening. You can find our podcast episodes on YouTube. We also post links to them on our social media accounts. We are on Facebook as Jill's Team Real Estate, Instagram at Jill's Team Real Estate. So you can find us in both of those places as well and give us a follow. So you can stay up to date with what's going on with our team and business.
Yeah, and we just, want to thank you for being here, listening to us, and just supporting us through all this stuff that we do.
Yes, thank you so much. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy New
Enjoy
Year.
enjoy the chaos that the holidays bring. And yes, Happy New Year. We will see you in January.
See you in January.